I wasn't done.
Yes, I got that in.
All right.
That was beautiful.
All right.
We were talking about drop kicking people.
Yeah, I got a
I was
quick
talking
question
about-
for everyone to ponder. I don't want any answers. This is just a question of the day. Ponder it silently at home. Can you drop kick with only one foot? Better yet, if you're jellyfish, you have to drop kick with all tentacles at the same time.
Ooh, asking them big questions.
All right. You guys are.
We'll accept answers, and you can just send in your answers. We'll get.
Yeah, Colin.
Call in.
You guys are floating in space right now towards Absalom Station. Get ready to land. This is your last chance to veer off towards Castorel and crash your ship into the planet.
That's not even my plan. That's none of our plans.
No, we're too wounded for that.
Okay. Well, what
we're
is the
not.
plan?
To go to
Everyone
Absalom
land
and
on
ask
Absalom.
him questions.
I think the title of this session that we used for Twitch is called Arvin and the Chipmunks. And then I made the go live notification, Arvin, save us from decision making. So I think the answer is pretty clear what's happening first.
All right.
I didn't notice you did that until now, and I'm immensely disappointed.
That was a good one.
That one, all credit goes to Waffles, who I was listening to the In the Heights soundtrack and barely able to concentrate. And I was like, name. And he was like, Arvin and the Chipmunks. And I said, okay.
Yeah, it was like immediate too. I don't even know where it came from, but here we are.
Somewhere in the 90s, I believe.
Waffles was dreaming of the Chipettes.
That's y'all.
Ooh la
Y'all
la.
are the
Oh,
chipmunks.
he's dreaming of us.
Just Carrick, don't flatter yourself.
Okay. You guys had sent in a quick call to Arvin, making sure that he knew of your arrival. He said he was, in
Hey,
fact,
babe, you home?
at Absalom Station. And you guys could feel free to come talk. He would clear enough space in the schedule to do so.
On the way there, I do have one thing I want to bring up, slightly out of character, slightly in character. Do we want to get extra pay for what we just went through? Like, do we want to, like, we're going to need
That's
to show
the
him
dumbest
something.
question I've ever heard. Do you want to get paid more or less?
Well, no, but like,
Do we want
We
to
have-
reach out to like Arvin and request more?
yes.
Is that the question?
And like,
I think
Yes,
the I think the
and I
correct
get
question is:
workers' comp.
do we want to attempt to get extra pay?
right.
I
yes,
like money.
I
exactly.
think we get
No,
like
no,
hazard pay in our
Let's
contract.
successfully get Waffles. It's successful.
Well,
The question
okay.
is, how much are we offering ourselves?
to answer that question, I have a question to Waffles.
All right.
Previously, he was like, Grace coordinate mission. Here's this info. You'll get paid as you go, and
Yep.
accomplish things. Is this still in that umbrella?
Yeah, you assume this would be the end of that umbrella.
Okay, so maybe we will get some more.
Yeah, you imagine you're gonna get paid more. I think Eisen's wondering if you should negotiate for more after he drops the first bomb of pay.
Well, no. The thing I'm asking is, he's gonna want proof that we did what we say we did, right?
Oh, we have like
And so-
all the fucking documentation in the world.
Right, but the group in the past has been kind of iffy about showing Arvin, particularly, but like, what do we want to show him? And
That's a
do we
that's a
want
good
to-
question.
Everything.
Is we should for once decide ahead of time, or we'll have that same.
Be a great idea.
Yeah, I think Moat experienced that last time.
Yes.
Tetsu points out, we have decided in the past. Some of us just changed our mind in the present.
Everybody looks at Eisen.
He looks over at Eisen.
Eisen looks at everyone like, I followed it. Like, he doesn't get it. There's like,
Well, from my perspective, anything that we want to show this time, like video-wise, from the, the pillars and the findings on. Shit, what was that planet's name?
Arshalan?
Arshalan.
Shalan.
Marshallan. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Anything we want to show him from Marshallan, I mean, there's nothing super substantial. Plus, we want to ask about, going towards the Starstone, so might as well just...
That's a good idea, though, Moat. We have information, and we can't pitch that we're withholding information, but perhaps we could ensure our, if everybody's curious, ensure access to perhaps this area that the Starfinders guard by specifying what information we do and don't have. Something along the lines of, we unfortunately got interrupted and needed, which is absolutely accurate, and the next step that we understand is to go there, and then we can have enough information to show you.
Yeah, we at least have to show him the fourth pillar, at the very least, in my opinion, the one that has the Starfinder symbol on it.
The thing is, they seem already guarded, is my concern. I don't disagree. I mean, one option is just to show them everything and hope for the best, and that's a valid option. My thought and concern, if anybody has ideas to mitigate that, would be to... I'm sure you've all noticed, the first time, he was hesitant to even provide us information on Grace, and he handed Grace over to us. They know things about Grace that we don't know. And so perhaps this gives them information that bridges that gap, and they have no further use for us. And then that's it. And then we would never get to see anything.
I have a solution.
Is it the back butterflies?
Well, if we wanted to provide them something that, without asking them for something first, we could go to Castrovel and find out that riddle.
Well, hold on. That might actually be a good idea, because then it
was a good idea.
Because then it would let them know that we're on to something.
Let me just call Arvin back and say, never mind, we're not actually here.
No.
Well, we can still meet with Arvin.
I think it's important to show him something for multiple reasons. I just want to know, do we show our entire hand, or do we just show a partial hand?
I totally ribbed
I
Moat.
still think we go to Castrovel.
I gently nudge Mo with my elbow, and I just lean down and I'm like, he just wants to get paid.
Well, first and foremost, you'd have to lean down and then elbow me, unless you want to bonk my head.
Arms. I'm sure the lower
yeah, they're all
would work.
The elbows are all 2 feet above Moat's head.
Oh,
so,
okay, all right. I elbow the air and then realize go back down.
And
yeah,
you kick him in the ribs.
Yeah, be careful around the ribs, please.
Oh yeah. No, sorry.
Moat is walking a bit funny. It's a bit of a strained walk now, because
You're just
Shards.
a continual critical wound.
Yeah.
Oh, Waffles, that reminds me.
Gonna be the thing.
You're a continual critical wound. That reminds me.
Yeah.
Over the long time we were on the ship, could Len have treated his limp?
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought that
Sweet,
healed
okay.
already from time.
Nah, he said I had to spend 24 hours resting.
Yeah,
or
he
something.
never had proper bed rest. Which it's like an actual mechanic in Starfinder. 8 hours isn't enough to get rid of diseases and that crap.
Right.
All right. What's the plan?
As for what information to show, we could go to Castrovel to go ahead and seek out some information, but it would also potentially be a play to just say outright, we need to enter the halls of discovery in order to continue chasing information that we found on Arshalin. And
you would
we
ask what
can...
information.
That's true, but...
Yes, perhaps.
I don't know.
If we went to
I don't know.
Castrovel, then we could come up with a
Political.
better story when we had something.
I can help with political. Mo, let's do this. Can I just try to start the conversation? My suggestion is to start with what they're not expecting and see where that goes. For example, we go in there. Before we talk about what we found, we set the subject and we ask about the temple. What was it called? Where's the thing?
Yeah,
the halls of discovery.
We ask about the halls of discovery.
Temporal.
Where's my notes? Where's my notes? That way we set the tone, and we do have information to share. But we start off with our best foot forward in terms of the information that we're looking for, and then we understand how willing he is to disclose of this. And if he says, sorry, classified, then we say, very well, we'll go to Castrovel and we'll be back, and we'll share the information after.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Here's what I don't get. I thought we were originally keeping information from him because we were worried about a leak. That we weren't worried about Arvin himself, right?
To a point, we still are. Yes. I think there's something. And you do see, like, she looks, like, a little, like, into the middle distance, thinking about something in particular.
Into the camera.
Just staring directly at center camera.
And cut. But yes, continue, sorry.
He in many ways is our boss, and like he said before, he has plenty of other people following plenty of other leads. I don't see a problem with leading him to the solution we want when it's important, but I don't think that we should just, keep something from him.
Yes.
Because, you know what I mean?
I do understand.
But he might reassign us and somebody else to take this.
But then we get a new job. What does
right.
that matter?
So that's actually, I think, something that we do need to reconcile together as a crew, as a team. I feel like there's been some dissonance on this in the past. I hear what you're saying, Eisen, and I don't disagree. The question becomes if everybody here is okay with simply dropping where we are and getting reassigned. But I have a feeling this has gotten slightly personal to some. For example, and I just point with one arm to Dr. Len. There's
Len looks alarmed.
There's personal research of one of us at stake in this particular shenanigans, and something or another related to this. It keeps following. It was done with the research that we were first sent to. There's just something about this that's related to Dr. Len. I point with another arm to Tetsu. It got personal with the Queen, and I have a feeling that some of us feel responsible and want to pursue that, and I think that also lines with this train of thought, the train of action. And then, third of all, we made it personal, and she points to Moat, when we dropped somebody very particularly related to pre-gap technology with one of his own.
Plus, you gave Grace your USB stick, and they might take.
And that's
away.
personal. There goes my fourth arm.
She may leak whatever was on there.
Okay,
now
y'all been to
point
the
to
Adari,
yourself.
so.
Just start trying to nod.
I'm not buying it.
She was lying.
All four arms. Go point to myself.
Yeah, I love to think that you pointed crossways.
I cast Mage Hand and then point to myself.
No.
How did I buy that?
Is that invisible? I thought that was invisible.
So we kind of figured out that the way magic works in Starfinder, it's not as magic-y, so it's not possible to be fully invisible or something like that.
Got it.
Yeah.
But look, all I'm saying is, between all of us, I think we all want to see this through along with the job. You all had your own reasons to be Starfinders, but you know what I mean? I just feel like we don't want to risk a reassignment. We have personal wants to see this through.
Everything you've just listed makes it sound like they can't reassign us.
They can. Nothing's stopping them. They could say, Dr. Len, continue your research in the lab. Meanwhile, off we go.
Yeah, they don't seem too concerned with the adaptation serum, which, I'm sure you can imagine how I feel about that.
Yes.
That's not the sense I got when we've talked to him in the past. But that's just me from my experience dealing with higher ups. I don't think that he'll leave us out to dry so easily.
I
Unless we
understand.
do something
I
drastic.
think we're not lying and we're not, running off completely alone. We simply are trying to set the tone to the best likelihood of success because, to be perfectly honest, as much as I understand we are Starfinders, I don't fully trust the situation even from within here. And that's the truth.
Well, I mean, I think what you're saying with tell them what we want to look into is probably our best bet. Just like lay out what our next steps are as far as we understand. I don't mind showing the riddles that we have. But we can just give our idea of, all right, we think we need to go here. Can you get us there? No? Okay, well, can you get us on Castrovel in a meaningful, non-risky way?
Mm-hmm.
Not Black Butterfly way.
Then we have to figure out our own shit.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's probably going to ask for info for what we have, but look, I'll defer. If we think that's the play at the moment to show the footage, then we can do that. I don't mind.
I think you
but
said it
if
just
you want
right.
to lead this, that's fine.
I think you said it just right. We start off with the information that we want, and we see where it goes. And at no point, to Eisen, for your ease of mind, we're not keeping it. We're simply starting with our needs to see the reaction and go from there. Likely, we will be showing the footage and divulging the information. Just starting that way. And can I just say, and she just like claps a hand on like everybody's shoulder. I'm just so happy we're actually agreeing for once.
You touching everyone in the ssame room at the same time is kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I'm imagining we're like waiting to like step off the ship, like to board or whatever. So I'm just like, team, let's go.
Deboard, also known as disembarking.
Thank you. I couldn't think of the word.
Eisen gives you a very suspicious look of like, I don't think your optimism is totally founded there. Like, he's not totally sure if this is optimism or if this is like, we almost died and camaraderie, like adrenaline taking over of like.
This was a lovely
joy.
Chat, and I love that we could all speak our mind and respect each other's opinions.
Yeah.
Actually, he's very confused because about 20 minutes ago it was we're not going to Castrovel. Now he's like, are we going to Castrovel?
I imagine like that was like the whole like we are getting out of the drift and like getting to Absalom, and then like we all like got our shit together and we're ready to disembark. Deboard. And now like the conversation is so much better than it just was, so she's really happy.
I did this turn into Peppermint Street.
You're certainly taking these difficult situations and difficult people well. It's almost like you're adapting to them.
Dun, dun, dun.
Is there something you'd like to confess?
I drank
Tattoo
5
ritual
adaptation syrup.
off.
Am I okay?
No.
5 adaptation energy.
I
Turns
thought
into
there
a
were
crab.
energy drinks in the fridge and
It's an odd number, so they clearly cancel out.
exactly, like yes, no,
That
yes,
was jellyfish.
no, yeah, oh,
Oh.
fuck.
I would like to add just one small addendum to the plan, though. I'd like him to talk about the Halls of Discovery versus us bring it up.
Trust in my diplomatic skills.
I'm putting.
You want to
that
tell
work
us about that secret place that nobody knows about?
Well, Zeha, if you show him the pictures correctly, do you think you can lead him to a conclusion so that he's?
Well, then he's just going to think we're dumb.
No. I want to start it off myself with the information that we need. In the sense that if we let him have it and he draws his own conclusions, he might say, perfect, I have a team that can go look at the halls, moving on.
Fair enough. I just worry he'll also shut us down if we immediately go, we want to go into your secret, halls where no one goes and memory changes.
I can't
Then,
promise
then
I'll
they
be...
ask the question.
Yeah, I can't
Why
promise
do
I'll
you
be
know
more
about the
successful
secret
than
hall?
that, but I can
I mean,
certainly hope that I have a slightly daintier touch than that.
Considering, the lore is that people go in and they don't come out, you think they want to send their more expendable people to go do that.
Perhaps,
And,
that actually might-
we're more expendable.
Yeah.
Unless something's
Tetsu's
changed in
currently
the
heading
time
down
we've
the
been
ramp.
gone. But let's get an update on the Castroville situation as well. Are we ready?
Tetsu's about
Yes.
half a minute down the street.
And just to
As I'll
clarify,
ever be.
are we taking Grace?
I don't think
No.
so.
No.
I'd rather keep her in the box.
In the
I think
hiding
we should
spot.
take her if we go into the
What's in
halls of
the
discovery,
box?
but that we can grab
Yeah,
her later.
that's
Like,
fair.
we don't
That's
need to-
fair.
You guys are being waved off the ship at this point.
Yes.
Like, come on, sign the papers.
Okay, we're coming.
Depart.
We're coming.
But
Captain.
Zeha and I both signed the papers. I assume the pilot and the captain both have to, like...
Maybe. I would assume just
And
Ah,
Dylan,
the
as gunner,
bureaucracy.
oversees the signing.
Yes,
Yep.
we need
okay,
a.
just sign there, Eisen.
Oh, are you what's the word for the person? A notary? Are you a notary, Dr. Lin?
Not,
no,
not
no.
officially.
And I'm not
But-
a doctor currently.
Sorry,
that
you must, have,
license
you,
got
you must have a PhD to be a notary.
Oh.
Ooh.
I mean, he doesn't not have a PhD. He just doesn't
Yeah,
have a
he got his
license.
doctorate.
No, he doesn't.
He didn't
Yeah.
go
No.
to school.
No, they took his doctorate away. His entire doctorate.
That's
They broke
vengeful.
into his house and
That's-
stole his diploma.
That's just mean.
And his high school one for good measure.
They're like, clearly this quack never went to college. So take it away.
That's so
According to
cruel.
the government, I haven't graduated elementary school.
As you guys are signing the papers, as Bacchus kills the tennis ball, the Sharon looks up and he's like, "Oh, so do you guys have any AIs hidden on board?" No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't say that.
Kill him!
Everybody like strikes a
Cabbages.
too casual pose. No.
Eisen just punches the guy, just like straight out decks him cold.
Straight to 10. Dial it up.
All right, you guys sign the papers. Get allowed to park for free as usual, and you're off to the Lore Spire complex, I assume.
Yes. I'm just sorry. Visual of our ship docked at Absalom Station. Patched.
It's smoking.
It's yes, there's like discolored, like different metals barely holding it. It's a mess. Yep.
I assume you guys just like make plans to get it at least back into air quote ship condition.
I'm gonna 100% let Arvin take care of that, Mr. Starfinder money.
Okay.
But like, yes. I think we'll get it started so that way then we're just like, by the way, Arvin, we put this on your tab. Thanks.
We took pictures for insurance purposes.
yeah, we filed the claim.
This is the guy who hit me, and just have the tail.
Yes. Is this covered in my insurance?
Kaiju. Giant
Weird.
sand monster.
Weird desert planets in the vast, large monsters with giant pincers. Is that covered?
Yes, but
yeah,
you know what?
explicitly.
There's this clause that says only if they're not, they don't carry any poison. Looks
Clause?
like.
Oh.
No.
Mm,
Anyways, before we get into insurance minutia.
Goodness. All right, you guys arrive at the Lore Spire complex. As it has always happened, the android at the front desk greets you, lets you in the back, and Arvin's waiting. Another spread, drinks, food out. It's like, okay, please. Been gone a while. Have a seat.
Yes, thank you. We've been gone quite a while. I've noticed some of the news has changed since we or last within the vast, or within the Pact Worlds.
Yes, he's speaking of Castroville.
Indeed. Has there been any news since what we've divulged to you last time? Is there anything major developments?
Not besides what I assume you've come across with the ransoms and everything, but seems Castroville and other parties are attempting to handle that. We're obviously not affiliated.
Right. Starfinder isn't helping the situation still?
We have no reason to work with the terrorists to get the queen back and pay what is a quite large sum of money.
This
Could probably run Absalom Station for a year on its own.
no, not monetarily. I just assumed perhaps you had people on it. Considering your involvement in. But no, that's fine. So, anyways,
He kind of raises a hand. No, as any diplomat would know, if we send people into a hostage situation and she dies, then we are at fault. So, no, we are currently not involved.
understood.
Would you like to send anyone?
Understood. No, of course not.
Hear the word currently.
Would you like to be our reason for unaffiliation? No, I'm just kidding. He doesn't say that.
No, I completely understand the need for caution. Now, we've been gone a while. We've came across some interesting information, I suppose. Is there any? I don't know if you've disclosed everything the Starfinder. I don't know what's classified to our level of security or not. But have you? Is there any connection between Grace and the? Wow, guys.
Yeah, check those
Halls of
notes.
Discovery.
Don't. No,
It's
you gotta let her
there. It's
suffer.
there. I have it right here. Just give me a second.
Sure you do.
Halls of Discovery.
You see him like look for a second.
Inside check.
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Sense motive here, I think.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Sense motive.
I'll take
Give
an
me
extra
an
large
extra
one.
ch-
18.
What scene?
Does
Oh,
a
wait.
30 work?
Sorry. 10. I was in Pathfinder brain and I thought it was perception. 10.
Gotcha.
20. But I would also like to this was me watching him carefully as to what he says next. So please feel free to finish your sentence that I rudely interrupted.
Sure. You guys all watch him for a second. He seems to think about it, kind of purses his lips. I mean, she could, but just as much as she could with the depths of Absalom, the vest quarters, the ring. There's no knowledge of what she is connected with, and that room, while he'd seem to think for a second, how the conversation went down. Not confidential. Nobody is really allowed in there besides the First Seer and the Forum.
Does any of that ring a bell? Is that any information that I
The First Seer is the leader of the Starfinder Society.
Oh, yeah.
That's just their title. That's like king.
I can
And
go
the forum, you being a diplomat, I'm gonna say it's easy enough to make the jump that would be like the council.
So we're just a few steps under there. Okay.
Just a few. But also, I'll say Dr. Lin with a crazy check and Zeha with diplomatic backgrounds and a 20. You guys would know that the thought of this being a First Seer forum meeting place, it doesn't register of what. That's not what this riddle is talking about at all. It sounds like nothing more than a boardroom, maybe a highly confidential boardroom, like a war room or something, but nothing more than that.
Am I getting could I come to the conclusion that he's not thinking of the same halls as we are,
Or maybe
You-
he's concealing information?
or he doesn't.
You definitely don't think he's lying, and you think, like you said, the halls of discovery, and his initial facial reaction was those words definitely mean something here, and then he told you.
I see. You're saying the first seer and the forum enter the halls of discovery and leave it on a regular basis?
Yes, when meetings happen.
There a door on Absalom that is not allowed to be opened?
You see him kind of cut his head to Tetsu for a second.
Let the diplomat. No, 100% a character. No judging. That's really funny.
Yes, there is, and it has been guarded since the last first seer ran their mission through it. You seem like hesitating.
And this is not what you call the halls of discovery?
No,
What do you
at
call
least
it?
not as I have seen it. We call it the myriad of change.
Yeah, see what an idiot gets you? Yeah, information.
Love you, Tetsu.
It's like Arfin's a nice dude that's here to help.
we
No.
Fuck that guy.
him super hard, and we're like so sus of him, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll help. Here you go." Okay, so somehow the halls of discovery and the myriad of change are not the same thing, and well, all right. So this myriad of change, you said this first seer went through it. What's the lore behind that in the Starfinders society?
Out of character real quick. If I've been saying seer, which I think I have, if I have, it's seeker. So
I was gonna
from
say,
now
I
on-
thought it was Seeker.
Yeah, so from
And
now
I'm
on I'm
like,
gonna be
maybe
from
I'm
now on
wrong.
I'm gonna be saying that, and I just didn't want y'all to be like, why did he start saying seeker? All right.
Yeah, that way
It's a
makes
Clue.
way more
It's
sense.
a clue.
It's a clue. He forgot the
We
kid.
see shit.
Sorry, what was your question?
What in Starfinder, like lore or stories or within their thing, like what is that? The myriad of change. He mentioned like the first seer like went through, or seeker went through, and something like that.
Yeah, it's he goes on to explain that it's a pretty heavily like guarded secret. Not many people really know what it is. They've had one, it seems to be anytime they have ever opened the door, it acts kind of like a portal, and anytime they've ever opened the door, it's always been a different view on the other side. Like it's been a jungle,
portal?
it's been an ocean, it's been a city, like basically, and they don't know why. The two thoughts are either like solar system anomaly type things, like where the stars and planets are aligned, it's gonna open here, blah blah blah. It's like a compass almost. And then the other one, coined by the last first seeker, that was first seeker Luazi El Sebo. She, after she ran her mission and a couple of guys came back out, attempted to like coin it before she stepped down, and said that it responds to the people in front of its wants.
Tetsu looks ready for that option.
I see. Okay. If you don't mind, Arvin, let us take a step back. And like Zeha leans back a little.
He takes a step back, hits the wall behind him. No.
Oh, watch
Falls
your head.
unconscious with his body.
Oh, time to bury the body. This is unfortunate.
I kill him for XP.
I take his Starfinder badge access. This initiative, the Starfinder initiative with Grace, does it have a particular purpose? Are you mentioned, I believe, and this is also me not fully remembering, you mentioned, I believe, that she was broken or something was wrong with her.
We do believe there is technology related to
Pre-gap?
Triune and the pre-gap, like different pre-gap knowledge that we have reason to believe that it is housed in various robotics, and our methods have come to show that the only way that it could continue to stay housed would be in an artificial intelligence, and thus we have been following rumors for some time now.
All right, I'm really... What is it that he's talking about now?
The two things he just said, like pre-gap knowledge and...
So they're looking for pre-gap knowledge and something to do with Triune. They believe it's housed with this type of stuff.
Yep, and like I said, I think way back when, you guys know that like the Starfinder's primary mission almost always has been to discover what happened during the gap. So that's a pretty easy jump to make of like pre-gap knowledge is probably the best way to find that out.
Right. I see. Okay. It's interesting because Grace has something. Well, I suppose, how did you get the coordinates to... what rumor on the coordinates tie into Grace that we just went to?
To be honest, it's a little more than a wild goose chase. We put out fillers and messages for possible ties to pre-gap knowledge or AIs, old ruins, things like that, and we get hits. We investigate those hits, and we investigate or pay the ones that seem legit.
I see. Then, unfortunately, I have some uncomfortable news where I believe one of those rumors and leads is now going to lead you straight into the heart of Castrovel.
You see his face kind of like wash over for a second. Okay. And why do we believe that?
Where we went was fascinating, to be blunt. And she kind of glances at everybody, like everybody seem cool with sharing now.
Yeah.
There were 4 pillars. The magic in the air in this desert was blinding. I've never experienced anything like it. And I have some samples.
You have samples.
And notes and...
Would you share the samples?
Yes, of course. And I will hand him, like, one of them.
You see him, like, lift it up for a second, mutter a couple of words,
Hey.
turns it around. His face kind of, like, not grimaces, just, like, chagrin. And he's like, this looks like sand to me. Hands it back to you.
Detect magic.
There's no magic.
Oh, it died in the time we went through the drift.
You
Oh.
killed it!
Wait, at what point in the drift did
Say
I
how,
check it
what?
on the ship?
Before we left.
Before I left the planet? You said... I thought it was while we were in the
Before,
air.
like when you're in orbit.
Yeah, I think it's like when y'all popped up into orbit, like you got everything together. Last thing you did was collect the stinger, sand, popped up into orbit, and you were like, I'd like to detect magic.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It's the
Okay,
drift. The drift did something
I'm
weird.
gonna pull up my comm unit. Are the photos that we took there?
Yeah.
Okay.
And with that, anyone that's trained can give me a physical science check.
If I don't have ranks, but it's a class skill, can I still do it?
Last time you said no.
Yeah, I've been saying no.
Okay.
I rolled a low 28 waffles.
An average 15.
What is that? Okay, that's a natural 15. That's a little worse. Well, your first one was a natural 19, and I thought we were gonna have another one of those games. Whew, okay, 28.
Don't tempt
Zeha, you have no clue really why like it ran out of magic. Actually, Zeha, go ahead and give me a mysticism check.
Thank you. I was about to say. 22.
Okay. Kind of a quick back and forth between you two of like when you realize it doesn't have magic and just a couple of like line takes no longer than like 30 seconds. But you guys come to the assumption that the planet itself is probably some sort of like magical thing. Like that's where the magic is housed. Like, like Dr. Lin goes on a like, consider the planet a living being. If you take skin off of a person, it will die eventually, like et cetera, like, and that's what the assumption is with the sand not having magic anymore.
And I had Grace scan it too, right?
Yeah.
Perhaps she might have some records of the data that she scanned, if we need to. I also like to imagine that, like, as soon as there's, like, confusion in the air, Zeha and Dr. Len just, like, turn to each other and nerd talk the shit out of it.
And kind of like towards the end of it, Arvin's holding up his hand. He's like, look, I believe you.
No, it's just
I can
fascinating.
consider that it has magic. It just doesn't right now. So he kind of like waves his hand in a circle for a second. He's like, but let's continue on the conversation we were talking about.
Yes. But like I said, blinding magic. There seems to be an area at those coordinates that we can't enter. It's blocked by runes and, like I mentioned, magic. However, there are 4 pillars that were tied to this thing blocking the entrance.
Large pillars?
I would assume so, but they were covered.
If
Okay.
it helps, I generated a 3D render of the area so I can, upload that file to your system. You can take a look if we want to just do that.
Sure, please.
Got our ship for scale, so.
Okay.
Yeah, Modal basically was like, go take a data pad that they were working on and just
Stand it over.
hook up to a machine and just like upload their Blender file to the, to the machine.
It's like a really,
sure.
really crappy like animation.
Oh yeah. It's a little bit wonk in some places,
Just a
but
tiny note. at the
clear
bottom.
enough where it needs to be.
And he's still like looking at it like he has a 3D render, he has pictures, and he's like, you can tell it's still hard for him to gauge the scale just looking at pictures and like a 3D render. Like even he's like if you saw a spaceship next to the Empire State Building, like it's hard for him to like put everything into
Can I?
his mind of like what
There's
is
also crappy little
what is
models
big
of
and
us.
stuff.
I was gonna say, can
at
I
the
add
ship.
like?
Yeah.
Can I just type in like a little like humanoid Kasatha?
Sure. He's like, yeah, these are ants, and okay.
Yeah.
All right, now I've talked to him about like a leak before, right? Have we addressed that to him directly?
I don't know if you have with the group. I know you definitely have, but I know you've also been here alone afterwards.
Oh yeah. Does anybody know if they know in character, like about that?
I thought we did. I thought we specifically talked about it because he specifically said, don't tell me what you learned in certain scenarios. I thought that was as a group. That like he said, I'm comfortable
was-
not knowing something.
That was directly to the Castrovel incident because
Yeah.
he didn't want the Starfinder Society tied to the Queen being kidnapped.
Right.
Okay, so I don't think then you know about the specific like my concern for a Starfinder leak. Though I just like as a group definitely let you guys know like I have some concerns about them.
Sure.
All right, fine. So I don't want to really say it, but there's definitely this look across her face that as this data is just being like freely transferred, like what are the chances that they. If this gets out to somebody else and somebody else goes and gets like or does this stuff before us or something, like are we starting an arms race by giving them everything? Is my concern.
Who knows?
Yeah.
My waffles smile. Yes.
I do. I know.
So I will then do this. And then each pillar there was a riddle written in another language, except for one.
He raises his eyebrows expectantly.
I will send 3 of them. And I will, like, verbally out loud just be like, here's the Aslanti one. I will send him the one that we think is the Elven one, Castrovel. And then... I said Aslanti, but... I thought that was the Starfinder one. I'm sorry, the Terran one. The Starfinder one, the Elven one, and... the Nchaki
Probably.
one.
Okay.
What's that?
So you're keeping the Aslanti from him?
I was saying, well, yeah, you're probably. I was gonna say this Lanny one is here potentially.
No. We thought that... Oh, why? Was that...
This Lanny one is the Starstone, I think.
No,
Oh, that's
no,
it. That's
it's-
you guys got it. Well, there is an Aslanti
That's what we-
Empire here,
I
so
just-
we maybe something to do with that.
Yeah.
No, he specifically said interest in Triune, and so I'm purposefully keeping that one away.
The Aslanti one?
Well, the
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 Nchaki
Triune
one.
would be Nachaki.
Oh,
Yeah.
god damn it.
All right, let's
Yeah.
take a step back.
Yeah.
What are you doing? What 3 are you giving him, and what one are
Definitely
you not?
Elven and Terran. And
Or you can just give him 2 if you want. Like we took a step back. So
yeah.
Weirdly, only 2 of them have.
No, I think it's like more like intriguing that only one was blank, if that makes sense.
sure.
So fuck. You know what? No, we're gonna give him Nchaki because he is interested in Triune, but the Aslanti one, in terms of the etching, is the only one that like showed like a destructive power, and it said like raise one closer to God. It struck Zeha like the wrong way, so that's the one that she'll keep quiet about.
Okay. Give me a deception check, and anyone can aid if they wish.
Moat will aid by providing larger images displayed on their mask, and only provide the 3, and then, yeah.
I will aid by not aiding.
Yeah, I will aid by stiffly keeping
Yeah,
my
same.
mouth shut.
And this is
Alright.
why I added ranks in bluff after level 1, because I realized I was lying a lot more.
You should assume that.
Maybe. Look.
This party has never been truthful in their life.
I did
That is
not help.
actively lying.
Oofta. But I don't think you can make it worse at the very least.
Nope. No worse here in Starfinder. All right, so 17 for Zeha.
Watch me.
Poor, sweet, innocent Zeha
Well,
that
what
first
about
left
the fourth
Adari. She didn't lie. Now look at her.
You see him kind of look over you for a second as the mom looking over the report card that the C got changed to a 100 or something. He kind of looks over you. You get the feeling he knows something.
Yeah.
He goes, interesting that 3 of them would have riddles only, but I understand. Okay.
I kind of also hope, like, I just give him this look, like, if I see him, I act, like, cool about it, like, I say it, like, oh, not, like, I'm lying, but then if he, like, judges me like that, I give him this look, like, you know why I'm doing this. Because he does.
Because you're
Sure.
50 as fuck.
I'm never gonna get my medical license back like this. Screw you.
You want to go to
He's
the
like,
Black
if you give me the
Butterflies,
4th riddle,
Dr.
we'll
Lynn?
If you give me the fourth riddle, we'll
I
get
do-
Dr. Lynn's medical license back right now.
Please say hi.
What
just
fourth
kidding,
one?
that's He clearly
What
points
doctor?
out the pictures you've shown him of the door that has 4 different runes on it.
Oh no.
And you've talked about 4 pillars.
Yeah.
And he's like, I don't really get it, but okay.
Yeah.
Maybe one was already, or maybe one's unlocked at the end. Who knows? Yeah, it's probably.
Who knows?
It's probably unlocked at the end.
It is a crazy fast riddle. So
Yeah.
There's
Arvin
Stepping
also
out
like
of character. Stepping out of character. Weird how it's decided in the moment to withhold some information.
I know.
Yes.
I literally.
Look, that's why I brought it up ahead of time, but like.
No, I
we
know,
were
I
playing the
know,
game.
and that's 100% something I think you should bring to Zeha in character because she literally backpedaled on the spot. Like I did not think ahead of time to do this.
Sus. Killer.
Mutiny.
good roleplay moments. All right, you can tell he knows something. He seems to leave it quiet though. If everyone is leaving it quiet, and nods. He goes, "So, where is the next step then?"
Well, we have 2 options. If you would allow us access, then one is right here on Absalom Station. And I have a feeling that we should likely have Grace with us for it. The other is on Castroville. And like she'll point to each of the riddles like that she thinks it is. However, our options are very limited on access to Castroville at this time. And it sounds from your story on the first Seeker that the one here is also rather unknown in terms of how long it would take. Perhaps the more time-sensitive one. And she, like, looks at Tetsu, like, knowing. If you can guarantee us access to Absalom Station when necessary, perhaps we should address the more time-sensitive one first, on Castroville.
He's seeing, nodding a little. He goes, "Well, while time sensitive, I do imagine the Castroville one is much more dangerous. I can't promise anything there because, again, as Starfinders are staying out of that currently, but he kind of like brings a hand out like I don't like he doesn't care. He's like, I'm not gonna stop you if you wish to go unaffiliated that way. That said, for the first Seeker is very known to be all about exploration and outward exploration, and you can, without a sense motive, you can tell that he's not all about this. It's not really where he thinks like he's not on the eye to eye with this. It's not really where he thinks the answers for the Starfinder Society lie, which kind of makes sense because if you're trying to find like pre-gap knowledge and stuff, why do you keep going further and further out?
Sure.
But like it's a needle in a haystack. Maybe it could be out there, so we can't just overthrow him, etc., etc. But he continues. He goes, that said, the last first Seeker, the ex-first Seeker, Luazi, did set into place a protocol to enter the Myriad, and I do believe that with some teamwork, your team might be able to. Give me a sense motive.
We have to write like a 500-page essay about why we should be granted access.
Yeah, but you have to take turns, and it has to be alternating words.
Yeah, you
Like,
make
just,
us
like,
role play
every
it out
word.
fully.
Yeah.
I just keep putting the.
It's that one
And to
line
please stop.
bit.
Yep. The one whose line bit, but it's a 500-word essay in real time.
I rolled a natural 4.
Yeah, this one doesn't look good.
Eisen did okay.
Just
for him.
refresh
not
a
great on
freaking
the
hero check this.
26. I mean, like,
There we
I'm rolling
go.
rocks today, guys.
Another natural 15. All right.
Rolled
I need
a
to break out the real dice.
Tetsu is staying true to Android. All right.
Seems to be communicating something, people.
He's speaking to us. Dr. Lin, you get something in his voice and you get the sense that he's saying, like, with proper teamwork. He's also, that line to him means he's also going to be part of the team, like behind the scenes. He like you on your own can't just walk up to the door and do it, and you on your own probably can't even pass the protocol, but with a little help from him behind the scenes.
Got it. Interesting.
And does he keep on talking, or does he like pause for a moment?
He pauses for a second, and then he continues, if not stopped, and says, with a little teamwork, I do think we can get past the protocol and get you into the Myriad. I can't promise how dangerous it will be, but you see like a small smirk, like an adventurous smirk almost, and he goes, can't imagine it's Castroville.
Well,
You say that now, but what if it actually is Castroville? What if we just end up there anyway?
that's always
Well,
Railroad
then, it's a quick trip.
What do they say? 2 birds?
I suppose.
two-headed bird.
I
I
would
believe
like
it is.
2 spaceships? 2 drones?
Yeah, what's a
Smashing
bird?
together.
I showed you one on the Adari. I mean, it was
Yeah,
dead. It
it's-
fell
it
off the tree,
forgot.
but it was, they usually fly.
2 cyclones?
Oh, really? Huh.
Yes.
You mentioned no affiliation from Starfinder. Of course.
Not on Castroville.
No, of course. Do you have any unaffiliated connections that could assist us?
You see him think for a second.
And I only ask if I see him start to say no, because
Yeah, he starts to
Rise
like
up on
shake
the
his
stairs.
head now.
I ask because some of us can't be associated with what seems to be the only other method that we have, and really can't have my reputation mixing with the black butterflies.
You see him like, if he was drinking, he'd spit take.
Yeah.
As he kind of like looks between all of
You're
you,
all
and he's
weak.
like,
Please no. Is what Zay has.
Eisen has just been doing this ever since Zeha actively lied. He's just holding it in and clenching his jaw and just
Len has frozen up.
and why would the black butterfly help?
I honestly, 3 hands gesture to Tetsu because I don't know.
And he turns to Tetsu.
They would not help knowingly, but if they are, as they probably are, behind the mercenaries that are most likely being siphoned to Castroville, it is a pathway in which we could get there without trouble.
You see him kind of nodding for a second. So you wish to become mercenaries?
Pretend.
Wish is a strong
He's like
term.
looking between both of you as he got 2 different answers.
We're a very distinct collection of individuals. I don't think it's that easy to jump from one foot to the other without, that being noted.
He nods. Clearly, you have some talking to do amongst yourselves. I will tell you the one piece of information I can help with. You can't successfully become mercenaries as Starfinders. I can
Not with the badge on.
remove you from the... He shakes his head. There's a database. It's a little more than a badge. I can remove you from the Starfinder database temporarily, if that's the route you wish to take. That is all I can do. And then you'll truly be unaffiliated. You seem shrug, yep, that sounds great.
I'm
And everybody wins.
rubbing the bridge of my nose, under my breath. Ah, yes. Madaloon and Black Butterfly representative. That goes hand in hand.
And
I don't think they would hire you as a represented.
in hand. Yeah.
Even if that were to work, I mean, surely there, and he like gestures at Arvin, plenty of other mercenary companies besides the Black Butterfly.
Tetsu just smiles.
Please, DM, please.
Arvin kind of looks between both of you. Yes, there are plenty.
Black butterflies hire them.
He ignores that as it may or may not be true, but he does continue and say, but there is definitely, and he stops for a second. I don't know what you all know about mercenaries, the bodyguard situation, soldiers, that type of stuff. They're usually not very organized. On Castroville, they are very organized. So it's one mercenary group. I can almost assure that.
So, in other words,
Pats Len on the shoulder. The bell.
I can think of, some high-profile mercenaries involved with the Queen that know exactly what some of us look like. And if this highly group of organized mercenaries are on Castroville, and we are on Castroville, I cannot possibly see how that could end well.
well, we're gonna have to get on Castroville at some point. And they'll most
Unseen,
likely do that.
preferably, rather than as mercenaries.
I'm pretty sure not all the mercenaries are gathered in the landing place. We would come in as new mercenaries.
Well, I think Zeha brings up the next point, and also, if the Black Butterflies are our only option, honestly, I think we should look for greener pasture.
I can think of many reasons not to do a thing, but a thing needs to be done.
Or we can check out the Myriad first and see where that brings us.
At this
Ar-
point,
Ar-
Eisen will slap the table to draw attention to himself, and be like, to slightly change the topic to hopefully get
Damn
some
it.
answers. What's the take on the ransom? What kind of work has been done there? Maybe that's our way in. If we can get the Queen to owe us a favor, maybe that's the option. If we can't get in because of not being Elven, or because, I don't know, they do some sort of blood test or whatever xenophobes do.
I don't think they
Again,
need a
from-
blood test for any of us.
Again, from the Starfinder point of view, not money we're willing to part with. I don't imagine you'll come across it anytime soon, as it would be a lot to even procure here in Absalom.
The myriad of change, it responds to people's wants, so just go ahead and want shit ton of money.
Well, currently, I think we're standing at 25% of the people that go in come out.
I don't think I actually said that in character.
Okay.
Uh,
Neither did he.
in terms of what Eisen is specifically trying to get at here is, he knows that they're not going to pay, but he also knows for sure that they've looked into what these guys are doing in terms of kidnappers. Does he think they're organized? Does he think that they're just playing a game? This sum of money is so huge that they're clearly just thumbing their nose at whoever. They don't expect anyone to pay. What does Arvin think their end goal is?
He'll give you a quick rundown. He thinks they're highly organized. He thinks they're probably affiliated with a group on Castroville because of how organized they are. He thinks the sum of money, while, I'll air quote, astronomical, not impossible for planets like Castroville to play, and that they clearly have a use for the first sum of money they threw in, and they're not playing games, which is why they just keep running and raising the bounty.
A thought just struck me, though. Speaking of this associated with a group of rebels on Castrovel, perhaps we should ask an insider source what their take on the situation is?
Probably a better bet than, probably a good first step at least.
If we could identify their contact, we might be able to get in and just kidnap them and then use them as a means of getting the queen back.
Who's the them you're talking about right now?
So, right, theoretically, the group that has kidnapped her is connected to the militia group that has taken over the...
Or is the militia group.
Or is the militia group that has taken over the capital and is now running things. Whoever is in charge of that group, who is highly organized, if they're on the planet, if we can get to them, then we can theoretically get to the queen and undo everything.
Right.
I like that that is an option that you came up with to not join the mercenary group as a more sane option to what was suggested.
No, and just to clarify that you understood what I was saying to reach out to VV and ask what she thinks of the situation.
No, absolutely. That's what I was thinking, that like she might have like methods of like without needing to actively like sign up as mercenaries to get us into a place to grab somebody or do something smaller scale.
To counter that.
That's not small scale.
Let me just look at my character sheet real quick. We're level 4, right? We're level 4.
We fought a kaiju and lived. It's fine.
Go ahead.
The ship fought the kaiju and almost lost, to be fair. One thing I do want to say to counter that point is while, yes, there's a chance we could make our way towards somebody who was in charge, if by a miracle we abducted that person and had full control over them, the mercenary group would nominate somebody else as the next leader and completely cut them out of the chain of command. They're not concerned about the generals in their army. More than likely, if they're so organized, they just shift a little bit and everything we do would be pretty much useless.
I also think that...
Go
ahead. Sorry.
I would say I still think our best bet of getting at the queen, getting a shot at the queen, is to more than likely have Tetsu turn into Tibble, show the data pad that was taken from them that they originally wanted, and say, I want to talk. Or we can exchange this for the queen. This. Look, we can show the video. We can show the video where Tibble and the queen are running away from the two of them. We have Tibble as Tetsu, or we just go get regular Tibble, come back, put him on screen, be like, I'm willing to trade the information that you were originally seeking for the queen.
Waffles. Are you okay?
Whew. I just drank some beer when you said regular Tibble, and I was like, yeah, let's just offer him up as a ransom. That'll work.
Regular Tibble, cool Tibble.
I thought you were laughing at the fact that like Tibble would ever do anything like that. Like you're like, yeah, sure, get him, see what he says.
But then there's the problem of they will know exactly everything we know, and
what if we change the data on the data pad?
Exactly.
At this point,
but they'd have
kind of looks around the room and he's like, "Do you need a moment?"
No, this problem won't get better.
Look, let's start with communication before we go off on wild goose chases of things that we have no idea about.
I will communicate with the black briar or the black butterflies.
I mean, communicate all you want. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't.
Can, you just don't want to.
Can't or won't?
Can't.
No, won't.
Or what?
What do you mean or what?
Yeah, if you associate with the black butterfly, what happens to you that is it career ending, life ending?
How would anybody know?
They're kind of one and the same for me.
And well, it could be life ending. even out of that, because what if they
Then
come kill us
why
when we
are
betray
you-
the mercenary company?
Mm.
Why have you upset so many people?
That's to Dr. Light,
Then?
right?
Yes.
Oh, me? What are you talking about? I haven't upset.
Arvin sits down and
I
pour-
didn't upset the black butterfly or anything.
Arvin sits down and pours 6 shots.
Takes them all.
Tetsu just grabs one.
Yeah.
Takes the first 3.
Aizen also
Len
takes
does
one
not touch his.
and shinks one with Arvin and goes bottoms up and just dips it.
It sounds
However
like
you all want to get on Castrovel.
it sounds like there are multiple avenues that you can all talk about. What would you like me to do for you? And or there's the door.
I think there's one thing that we
Even
can
with us
agree
from the
on, which
Starfinder?
is that at some point we're going to have to walk through the Myriad, so perhaps we should get the ball rolling on that.
Yes, you're going to have your hands full with that while we try to organize what to do after that. It's going to be a mess.
And meanwhile, we'll reach out to our contacts and we'll see.
Sure, that paperwork will take me a couple of days. Are all of you in fighting condition?
You know, the ship probably could use a helping hand. I think.
Well, it won't take the ship.
My armor needs to be patched a bit, but I'm otherwise fine.
You know, if we can get payment for our lovely findings, we can get ourselves up to gear and up to snuff and be ready.
Tetsu's texting.
Speaking of extra payment, do you remember our conversation we had before about a rare materials merchant or a vendor of any sort who dealt with unique things?
I do. We are on the track of one currently, and I do imagine you see him kind of like tilt his head a couple of times. He's like, I do imagine they will be free in approximately a week. Rare materials vendors seem to stay out of the normal solar system, as it would have it.
We happen to have found something along our trials. The thing that stabbed our ship so often left us.
There's a video of the big dust
Santa
manta.
The Santa Manta. He kind of watches it over, nods along with Aizen. Okay.
We got to keep the tail. We have no use for it, but it might be good bait to help
we don't?
smooth things over.
Sure. I can definitely see what use they have for it and continue the talks.
Thank you. Other than that, I guess you don't know what's behind the door, so we can't plan ahead of time.
Seems, by the reports, it seems to be different every time.
I guess we just have to get drunk and wait.
Thought we were going to Castrovel.
Yes, why don't we use these few days to
We reach
do
out.
the Castrovel?
Wait, do we think that Castrovel will be able to be done in a couple
No,
days? I highly doubt
no,
it.
not
No.
at all.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna
But-
recoup ourselves on Absalom. I thought if he pays us, do some shopping, get our shit together,
Make
and
contact with Vivi.
reach out to Vivi. Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, but the understanding is the myriad of change could take a very long time.
No, the understanding is that no, what Arvin said was that it was
One
the
in
more
four die,
concise
or
one.
come back.
Yeah, we could all die through the door, but
We can all die on Gastrovel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. He says that, quick wrap up. He says he'll start the paperwork. You will have a combative challenge with the guards of the Myriad. He doesn't say anything else, but rolling over Dr. Lin's sense motive from earlier clearly seems like he is going to put some work in behind the scenes to make sure that that combative challenge is not as difficult as it would normally be.
When
And
you say
then-
competitive challenge, do you mean like foam swords and, first blood? Or are we talking I get to punch somebody into the ground as often as I like?
You can punch them as often as you would like. We'll just rebuild them afterwards. They won't kill you either.
Okay. Well, that's interesting to know for Tetsu.
But he's gonna put in that paperwork. You'll have that combative challenge 3 days from now. He pays each of you 700 credits. And as you're all ushered out the door, he pours 6 more shots, and that's where we'll take our break.
That's
Arvin's
fair,
an
dude.
alcoholic.
That's fair. Alrighty. Well, let me get us ready for break. And though that was okay. Hold on. I wanted to flavor the message of our break this time after our lovely Dr. Lin. So you guys can take a look at the message this time.
Perfect.
If you haven't noticed, our little we'll be right back message changes every time, or at least I try to. All right, guys, we'll be right back. Take a quick break. You take a quick break. Hydrate if you haven't hydrated, and check your posture and love yourself. Okay, goodbye. We'll be back.
We'll be back. We're back. It's us. All right.
True.
Question for the group.
I'm ready.
You've been kicked out of Arvin's office as he gets drunk.
Sloshed.
Slashed.
Hey, at least.
What? Sorry.
I was gonna say at least one thing is consistent amongst us, no matter where we go, no matter what what characters we play, no matter what campaign we're in, we lead the NPCs to drink.
Or steal them after they drink.
Yep.
Brew.
True. All right. What's the plan? You clearly have some you have some people you want to talk to, I think. You have some credits to spend. Obviously we're not taking an hour to shop here, but
Shop off screen.
yeah, I can tell y'all that y'all would easily get time prior to going into the Myriad door to shop as well.
Did he clear up if we get to rest after the fight before we?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like the Myriad door has to be forced open after the fight. This is just a protocol that was put in place to ensure, like, base level, we're not sending, like, children in to die kind of thing. Like,
We're children. Let's not get that wrong.
So Zahaz's gonna stand back and y'all can fight. Thanks. Let us know when we can get through.
Yeah, when don't you?
Shall we call Vivi? Or like send her a message? I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Do we have to call, like, I don't know how these numbers work. Can we text and call?
yeah, sure. I don't know. That's how we're playing it, at least. If you're in I think I've explained it once, at least my rules on the calls. If you're in the same system, so like the same solar system kind of thing, you can call. Like direct call, get hooked up to them then. If you are one system away, so say Pact Worlds to near space kind of thing, then it needs to be, like, you could like text, direct message, etc. If you are 2 systems plus, so like Pact World to Vast or even further, then you would need to have a like specialized way to reach out or a signal to reach out, etc., etc. You assume she's on Castroville, which is in your system.
Well, then that makes me wonder how Sana ended up getting in contact with Len, because
She did say that she texted you afterwards and said that that was the only. You got like a text like 4 days later. She's like, I only had one opportunity to get in contact with you like that, this far away.
oh, okay.
And how did she? Was that like some kind of transponder or something that would use for that?
Honestly, I don't know. There are probably a handful of ways she could have done it, but probably wasn't cheap or easy to get to.
Perhaps an astral transponder? Would you mind just messaging her and asking?
Oh, it's the text I sent from the Vast is going to arrive like tomorrow, and then this.
You could just explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll text like a really long paragraph explaining like, "Hey, we ran into trouble," and then like I sent you a text from the Vast, but it's going to arrive tomorrow because we went through the drift, and now I'm just texting to ask how you ended up getting in contact with me, and also how bad are things on Castroville, and also how are you doing?
Astral
Len.
transponder.
Oh, and did you use an astral transponder?
Thank you.
Then like he looks to Zeha.
I give like
You get a text. You get a text back. Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
You get the left
Marked
on
as
red.
red.
Scene.
Yep.
Check mark.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going over a couple of days in Absalom and stuff. It's not immediate. It's some hours here and there, but you eventually get a message back that is, no, it wasn't an astral transponder. Damn it. I had a basically a signal booster that like allowed me to reach you wherever you were, but it has to charge up over time, kind of thing. You get a Castroville's bad. Many people are in hiding. Thankfully, it seems to be relatively located to Savi Rian and the coast close to it. But it is scary. I'm all right. Cool.
All right, and then Len just says, "We're trying to figure out a way to get to you." And on Castroville, but it might be a little. We're working as quick as we can.
Okay.
Don't feel that was truthful.
But by the way, Dr. Len, who is this?
Why do you not want to save them?
His girlfriend.
It's Sana. She's a friend from Castroville after I first left Memoria. I was in a bit of a rough spot, and she let me just stay with her for a little bit and help me get back on my ambies.
I don't like that.
Just popping ambies.
Don't like it.
Oh, all right. Well, that's good. I'm glad you have a friend. And like,
Why didn't you meet with her before?
Len kind of gives her a look after she says
no,
that.
like on Castroville, you weird.
I'm glad you have one friend.
I mean, like, I was a little worried for you. Okay, like, you seem to know.
I have plenty of
Yes,
friends.
You do, myself included. I had hoped that would. Okay, well, I'm gonna text you, beat now.
Yeah.
With that awkwardness, I will. What do we want to say to Phoebe? Ask her if she. All right, can you talk? Question mark. Send.
Yeah. That's a
so.
place to start.
You get back. Give me a minute. And then she calls.
Oh, all right. Suppy.
Suppy. Yo,
VV,
how art thou?
is video call?
No. It is very specifically not a video call.
I see. VV.
How? Actually, I kind of want to address this prior to us getting into this conversation. I imagine most calls are like default video calls in the future. Like they always have a screen ready. Like if you have your spacesuit on, you probably have like a camera ready to be on your face. Like I just imagine like a lot of future sci-fi movies and stuff. And so when it's not a video call, like that's the odd part, you know, as opposed to us when we're like video call or no, it's like when that screen shows, when that little box in your right hand corner shows up black, like,
Yeah.
you know, like their camera's off. It's weird.
I'll turn my camera off too then, fine. All right, are you still on Castrovel?
Yes, currently.
Can you apprise us of the situation? Are you all right?
You hear like shuffling and sense that she's breathing like a little hard, probably trying to like walk somewhere real fast. She's like, yeah, I am. I'm in with the people.
Can I make some sort of perception to try to like identify the noises in the background? If it's a forest, if she's like, if there's people, if it's a city.
Yeah, I'll tell you without a perception check. It's forest and there's people.
Okay, which is okay. You're where we saw you with everybody accounted for. You're safe.
I'm safe. I think others are. I'm a mercenary.
Right. Understood.
You hear her, like get loud for a second. Yeah, we haven't had any big gunfights recently. As like you hear like other voices like seem to get closer to the call, and then you hear them go less.
All right. As soon as there's like some quiet, is there? Can we help? Is there some way we can get on planet with you and help?
It'd be great if you could, but I can't.
If we were to get on, would you be able to get us? What's the capital? Sovereign?
That's the entire continent. Il's the capital. You guys went to Cordona.
Is there a way that you can get it to L?
Maybe. Unlikely. I'm not really there yet. And you get the sense she's saying like she's not that trusted yet.
Right.
I mean, like, y'all are here and hearing all of this. Like, feel free to jump in.
Tetsu's trying to text quietly as he continues texting.
Len's been keeping an eye on Tetsu as he's doing all this texting, just sus of him, but doesn't speak up otherwise.
Gotcha.
You have the emote text bubble pop up above Tetsu's head, and it's just a pin drawn butterfly in black ink.
Winky face.
He sends it to Moat's display. How'd you hack into that? Okay. If there's something that would be of assistance to you, that would be of assistance to others, let us know. We can do our best to communicate. Yeah. Right.
All right, we'll see you when we get here. She
Right.
hangs up.
Well, that's
Sounds
something.
like two people need our help now.
Not necessarily. I mean,
What do y'all care about VV?
Yeah, like I was being nice, but like no, okay.
She's not
just a
Nanal.
shitty. She's just a shitty NPC.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
speaking
she's
of
not Nanal, so
Nanal, where's she up to, little punk?
dead, hopefully.
Checks
That's
the
okay.
Get
current,
her, guys.
Probably
checks the
collecting
current
the
startup
Adara.
drops for the next lore drop.
Give
Yeah,
me the next
we're-
one.
We're 18% there. Let me know.
Barsu's just letting his friend die. We're letting VV die. Cool. We're cool.
Guys,
I'm
I
just-
found Nanal on Tinder.
Every NPC that y'all meet that helps y'all, and then you just let die. It's just another
I'm-
tick to chaotic evil.
Hey, man, I'm trying.
Yeah, I'm trying here.
Speaking of that, Tetsu has been texting Crick to basically say the thing I asked you to get me in touch with. Have you gotten in touch with the person you were going to get me in touch with? Like he was
Crick.
gonna get me. He was gonna get me somebody to talk to who could get me a meeting with the black butterflies, and he said he needed
Yeah.
a few days.
Crick, since you thumbs up and a number, which
As-
you
as
know
it's-
is not like Crick at all. Like Crick's a relative talker.
Does not want to. Yeah, remember, you're all so skittish. So Tetsu will just kind of get the number and be like, I could call this number, but first I should get Arvin to wipe my Starfinder record.
It'd probably be wise.
Because
saying this
this
to
is
us?
not the Black Butterfly. Yes, this is after that call. Because this is not the Black Butterfly, but I don't know when they'll start checking about us. So,
I'm not wiping my data from the Starfinder. I'm not doing this. I cannot be associated with the black butterflies.
We need an in somehow. He at least should talk. Even if he wipes his data, it doesn't mean you have to immediately.
Or at all.
you can get the data back. Because Arvin said so.
Tetsu, you...
What?
Yes.
Well, after we fraternize with these criminals, what happens then? We leave the mercenary company and they come and chop off our heads, or well, your heads. And
Aren't you being
Never mind.
chased by a very powerful company that wants you dead?
We're making plans
that was
in
that was not even my choice. Why would you bring that up?
I just wanted to say that you're already in the situation. Why are you worried about this that they
Because
won't
it's not
necessarily care about?
equivalent. You know what? You're
is.
right. One organization is against me, so might as well have all of them against me.
We want to get on Castrovel.
We are in a couple
This
of
is
days
the only-
going within Absalom. I don't know when you're having this meeting. I don't know how you can commit to a timeline until you have that
I'm
information.
not committing to a timeline, but we went into the meeting with Arvin where you said, hey, maybe it does make sense to do Castrovel first.
If he had...
I have an opportunity, and I have an opportunity to get us into Castrovel. We are not in a rush for the Starfinder piece. You and Len just do not want to go because of a reason, and I don't see any other way. Nobody else has a way to get onto the planet.
That's the problem, in my opinion. We're
We
in
have
between a
no-
rock and a hard place here.
idea what the myriad of change can bring to us. Perhaps we can request to be at the door in front of El, and that will bring us there. Who knows? Perhaps that's the way to get on Castrovel. Who knows? Until we pursue that one, I'm not out of options, and I'm not doing this.
That's
And
fine.
I still believe the threat of having a very powerful criminal organization within Absalom after us is not a good idea, just in general.
Very well.
It is very manageable.
Meanwhile, I'm gonna go shopping. She just goes off.
We have not voted on it. We voted on the things I didn't like to vote on. It is 3-2. Would we not go to Castrovel?
No, it's not about going to Castrovel. I'm not associating myself with the black butterflies. Myself alone.
When I did not want to do a thing, we voted on it, and we did the thing. I went and I protected and I helped. I want to help the Queen. I want to help the Starfinders. I don't see why now we don't do a thing together.
Like I said, until it's our absolute and only option, I'm not ready to agree to anything. And right now it's not.
I have saved you. I have nearly died to help save you.
I have done the
You
same
won't
to all
allow
of
us
you.
to vote?
It's not a vote yet. It is not.
Then
I
let
don't
us vote.
appreciate you painting me into this corner like I don't care. Just because I don't associate or want to associate with an organization that will literally blacken my name in an organization that I have been raised to participate in. My whole life has been to follow in my grandmother's footsteps, and I am not going to risk that. Zeha's gonna go.
Eisen clearly wants to say something, but he just closes his mouth, realizing it's pointless.
Len says, and me. And then he looks like he wants to leave, but doesn't really do anything.
I like Dr. Len.
Once
Sits down.
Zeha has like fully left, Eisen just like pounds whatever he was drinking and says, "And that's why you can't be captain," to like the empty seat where Zeha left, and just, you know, doesn't say anything other than that and just takes Nick's drink and drinks again.
Interesting. It's not like I appointed myself captain, mind you. I didn't want to be captain.
Yeah. Moat is going to be, as this is going on, looking up ways to, I don't know, conceal identities, potentially looking into any dark web way to like either forge identities. Are there things that we can purchase that would allow us to just like conceal ourselves in a way that we could just like enter in under like some other pretense, under other names, and then change ourselves and get back out if that was the route we needed to take?
Sure. Give me a culture check. There's no better
Also-
checks here. You think you could? I'll tell you this. You know the way to go about it. You don't know how well you could do, but you know basically mechanically it would be a bluff skill. That said,
Hold on.
it'll be a culture check to like look for other people to do it and like pricing and if it's even possible, et cetera, et cetera. What's up, Dr. Lin?
I was just gonna ask, like, kind of in this sort of same vein, what's stopping us from just landing on the planet?
They had super high security last.
The elves did, but this is a different continent, I think.
No, it's not.
No, it's the same continent.
Oh, is it? Okay.
And there's an absolute war going on, and so they're totes probably cool with land shit.
Wait, can you take us to the Casterville map real quick?
Yeah.
I mean, like, so one thing that's also been in the back of my mind, I've got one other thing to add to the question I just asked, but I was thinking, I mean, there's always a chance that we could find a separate area to land on Casterville and then, like, get our way over there not by spaceship, and that might be a better route to sneaking around to the area. Obviously, Black Butterfly is potentially the most direct way.
But
That
elves have
also
an
banks on
isolated
them being.
continent, and there's radars. Anything's possible.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I'm just saying it's possible. We broke into their system before, I guess, but
With help.
nixing that for now. One other thing I wanted to bring into the conversation, the question just asked, I wanted to also probe the idea of using, I guess, commonly or readily available items. So, for example, I know that there are things such as different serums that would allow you to change your physical features. I think it's the which serum is it? Crap. I had it for a second, but I can't remember. A serum of appearance change. You'd be able to like change your physical features still within your race. So that's like something that could be done, and I want to know if Moat like would be able to potentially come up with a decent way to like source that, and if they think it might be a good idea. So I want to include that in the check that I make.
As you start thinking of items that could help get us in, Tetsu would point out one item that might be able to help us get on planet undetected, called a personal drop pod, stealth variety. An orbital drop in.
It's just a lead bucket. We just drop in a giant lead bucket.
No, it's more of a cocoon that just wraps you up and says good luck.
Mm-hmm. While they're doing this, I'm actually just gonna text Tibble.
Okay.
You up?
I'm
What's
just
up,
gonna
Tib boy?
like I'm gonna just text. Made it back to the Pact Worlds. How are you doing? Have you heard about what happened at Casterbell? And just start that conversation up.
Get back. I doing good. Yep. It's not great.
He's not a texter.
I imagine it's in like little like bits, like it's like full 14-year-old girl text.
Basically.
Let's see here. Yeah, I want to just check in on him, and like while we're talking, just try to like he never really left Cordona, did he? So he doesn't have really any information on L or anything like that. Actually, I'd ask him about like, do you think that they have any technology that like of yours that is particularly dangerous that like the rest of us have to be worried about? Like, I'm just trying to small talk him to like get any sort of like information.
Weirdest small talk.
Yeah,
So, any technical secrets I should know?
Small talk goes by, like time passes. You get the sense, I'll just tell you like the two things. You get the sense, no, he doesn't think they have anything that could be particularly dangerous, especially without him operating it. But even if he was there, he doesn't imagine there'd be anything super dangerous. And two, you also get the sense that he is still on Akiton.
Perfect. Okay. Then, in my opinion, that avenue is not really that useful. And I'll just, like, if you need anything, let me know, and just let him go back to his work for the time being.
Okay. What else we got? Crew?
I got a 24 on that check. So.
Okay.
Culture check.
Yeah. You end up finding a couple of people that can do it. You're able to like kind of compare prices and even talk to one of them if you want, and you get the sense that probably the best price you can get with like a little haggling, and it'll be your culture check rolled over already, is 100 credits per person, and they can't change your appearance, but you'd have a different identity completely.
Okay. I will make sure I know their info.
Sorry. They also tell you that is on a personal like ID pad and an Absalom station database. If you wanted that, they can't like change it throughout the Pact worlds, obviously.
Right.
But the personal ID pad is kind of like your license, so it'd be like getting a fake license or something.
That's actually a really good idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely something I will bring up to the rest of the crew as a plan, as an option for us to consider. And then I will also, believing that we have potentially a couple of days, I will take a look into the matter of getting the ignition sequence modification done to the ship, so we can have faster startups.
Okay. Yeah, if y'all have the BP, you're going to be here enough days, so feel free to add it.
Okay. Is any credit cost with it?
Nope.
Cool.
Waffles, if I wanted to start designing a proper sword for Eisen, could I also start doing that and like roll that into like a work profession check during the time?
Yeah, this would be like we'll say it's still going to take a while, obviously. This is like the preliminary designs of you like drawing it out, maybe making a fake little like iron sword and testing what the balance would be. Obviously, it's going to like change with the different material and stuff, but
Yeah.
like, yeah, this would be like phase 1 of 3 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
Faux show. All right, is that it?
I think so.
My crew wasn't ready for downtime.
I figured I would
well,
do
actually,
downtime
yeah.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we?
What's up?
Yeah. Do we want to do downtime now or?
Shopping after. If you have any like conversations you want to have or anything, go for it.
Okay. What Len's just gonna do with his time is just keep trying to research the like sample in the lab and try and figure out a better way to produce the vaccines. I know it's kind of been futile, but
Sure.
failure is the essence of science.
Give me a medicine check.
I think Eisen would want to have a conversation with Zeha at this point.
Okay, we'll go after that on the medicine check.
Really bad 20.
Natural 6. That's what you get for rolling all those high rolls.
Give them
All
back.
right. Yeah. Much like this serum has proven to be with you, it's the bane of your medical existence. You can't make headway. You're talking to a wall. You're banging your head against the wall. You literally can't get
Bellway.
past. There you go.
Could
Making no bellway. What's up?
I don't know it. I don't want to like. Basically, if like after that initial going off, I don't know. It's hard to tell like what is happening with this kind of stuff, but like Zeha would probably like naturally just gravitate to spending time with Len if she has nothing else to do. Would I be able to help him if I'm just hanging out in the lab?
Sure. I'll say you can give an aid. You definitely can't make your own check. They're not gonna like give you tools and allow you to research stuff, but you can help.
I was wondering if instead of a medicine check, I could do life science in the sense of just like backseat, like this is what I know about this type of stuff.
Sure, but the aid's gonna be 15.
Sure. I felt also like it makes more narrative sense because I have rank in life
Yeah.
science.
It does, but it's just a harder check.
27.
Okay, so 22 on your medicine, Dr. Lin. I mean, Zaya makes some good points. Honestly, a lot of them are points you've heard before, but they're valid points for somebody's first time looking over the adaptation serum. Doesn't help you make much bellway, but Zaya, you also learn like the basics of the adaptation serum on your own time as well.
Cool. I figured to paint a little picture. I'm probably not like I will occasionally jump down and like take a look at what you're doing, but mostly I'm like sitting on one of the countertops and just like being a sounding board on the occasion and otherwise like on my phone. But like like being there, be like, what are you doing? No, isn't it like this? No, okay. And then hey, what's that? Like jump off and look and then go back.
This is really hard, man. Man.
And then I assume one of the days Zaya's coming out of the lab and Eisen's probably heading her way.
Especially if you haven't left the lab in like a couple days, he'll definitely have like sat outside waiting to see if you'll come out with like a thermos of hot tea And
Oh.
like seeing you come out, he'll like do the like high nod to you and stand up with this large thermos.
Throws hot tea on you.
My face.
I don't need
Got her!
I don't need hot tea to do damage. I have a different kind of tea.
Eisen, what can I do for you?
I think it's time we have a talk. Can we go sit down for a second?
I'm pregnant. It's yours. That
I
dance
was waiting for
just
some.
so
I was
damn
waiting for
good.
something along the lines of like, "We're breaking up."
Do you think they
Yeah,
believe
that
us?
comes after the I'm pregnant part.
Yeah, sure.
We'll find like a cafe or something, and I'll order probably like some stupid dessert.
All right.
Uh,
You get rock candy.
That's fine. That's thematically appropriate for where Eisen's head is.
It's just like the worst sound too, because it's rock crunching on rock, crunching on rock.
Absolutely, and well, when Eisen sees it, he like frowns slightly of like he didn't fully realize what he was ordering, and now it's
Is it
stuck there on the
sibling?
table, and he's just kind of staring at it, upset. And then he finally just kind of harumphs and breathes and says, "Things are getting complicated, and it's hard to talk in a group setting. But we're dealing with some crazy stuff, and based off of your reaction last time, I have to ask, what do you want from the group going forward? It seems like we're getting into some pretty serious stuff, and if you're not prepared, that's fine. I want to have the conversation. I don't know what's going through your head, and unless I ask, I can't really figure it out."
What I didn't appreciate about the conversation with Tetsu earlier is that the indication that I felt that I didn't. He said he saved my life, like I haven't been in the action with all of you, and equally been protecting and aiding and in life-threatening situations. And the assumption that I'm not willing to put my life at risk, I think, has been proven plenty of times so far. It's not that. It's not that I'm unwilling to put my life at risk. But I'm here to do the job that was given to us. I have since gotten rather intrigued with this twist of magic and technology that is... She kind of looks around, like, doesn't say Grace, but, like, you know, that is her.
You make a shape of a box.
You know. Because that is where I've excelled in my magic for a very long time. So, I'm curious about her. But beyond that, I'm here to do the job that was required of me. That does not mean, and life-threatening or not, there's certain lines that I can't cross for the sake of my future.
Can I, from someone who has lived a very different life from yours, can I give my perspective?
Certainly.
It's Tetsu's and I's job to die for everyone else. And not just because it's dangerous,
Tetsu's
but
face.
because,
I'm sorry. I really don't want to interrupt a
but
good
because
roleplay moment.
when we are the front line, we are the bodyguards. When things come to attack us, it's our expectation that we have to die first. It
I
is
will ask
your-
you speak for your own perspective. I don't know that you can speak for
Yes,
Tetsu's.
I'm speaking from, like I said before, I'm speaking from my own viewpoint here. That, from what I understand and from what I've seen of Tetsu, it's our job to face whatever threat is first. That means dying is an active role, and not only that, but our job is to take in the information, take the roles, and not worry about what comes next. That's what I thought he meant when he said, I protected you, I risked my life. It's your job to survive, to think the next step ahead. If you want to lead this group, like you said when you asked us on Casterville why we don't trust you, or why we had issues when you went back on Tibble, this is why. When you talked to Arvin the other day, this is why we have problems. It's because what we want from you is to lead. If you don't want that, that's fine. But for certain things like this, there's a risk involved, and this is the risk that you have to take, just like we have to take when we're the first to hopefully die, to make sure the rest of you survive.
Like
Does
I
that-
said, I am willing to have a different conversation when it becomes the only route available to us, but until then I am unwilling, and I don't see why that is not a fair request when it is not me alone that is not willing, but Dr. Len as well.
I am also I also have my own trepidations about it. I understand that. It's not, you being unwilling is not the problem.
It seems to be.
The way you went about it, the way you had the conversation, maybe with Tetsu, it's hard. And I just, I know emotions can get high, and I myself was getting
Have
a
you
little
had
hot
this
under the
conversation with Tetsu?
I figured you'd be the first one to have it with, considering you understand the pieces on the board just as well as anyone. I can go out and drinking with Tetsu, and we can figure this out without a problem. But the person who we need to have a conversation, because I don't understand what you need to make this group work. You're the one who, when something goes down, you change your mind, and I suddenly get thrown out the loop, and I don't know what's going on. So I need to have this conversation with you so that I understand where your priorities lie and how best to help you, so that when the cards go down, I can make sure to have your back.
I guess I'm hearing two different things. Now, in terms of me last second changing, I understand that aspect of things can be challenging. I react to the situations around me, and sometimes I realize something on the spot, and yes, I can't prepare ahead for everything, and that's where trust comes in, that I am trying to do the best for, the goals that we have communicated, and whether or not you trust is not the point, but rather I understand that I change on the dot, but my intentions and my goals do not. And we discussed what to tell and what not to tell, and then in the moment I realized something and thought that would be the best call. At any point, we can have that discussion and give him more information in retro if we need to have that discussion. But that is totally different than... That I understand. Having that conversation I'm happy to have. It's the other half of this that I don't quite understand, because we had a conversation where both Dr. Len and I were unwilling to do something, and then Tetsu approached me and said he saved my life in some sense, that I owe this in or something like that, and I didn't appreciate that. That is all. That has nothing to do with anything else.
I don't want this to be the thing that causes a problem when we're going to be going into all sorts of things. And I'm not just talking to this, I'm not trying to admonish you or make this a you thing. This is a group dynamic. We're about to enter a place that possibly answers to people's wishes. If we aren't on the same page when we walk through that door, I don't know what kind of nightmare we're going to walk into.
Do you sense any dissonance on the decision to enter the myriad of change? Because I'm pretty sure all of us were doing that.
Not dissonance on the decision, but if it's in our heads, I don't know what that door is going to open up to. If it responds to wishes, I don't know. It's a magical door.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
But I don't know that...
Maybe a magical door.
We have no idea what we're getting into, but I also don't know that individual thoughts have to be in perfect unison to succeed.
I'm not talking about perfectly in unison. I just want to make sure that there's no bad blood in case something happens. And so I'm trying to just have a conversation to understand you better in this moment, so that I can make sure that you are safe when, God forbid, another giant sand monster pops out of nowhere, out of null space to attack us.
Similarly, I would like to ensure that we are all on the same page when in intense combat situations and when we make a call to run and save the lives of our fellow people, that we are all, communicating, and spur of the moment, quick, intense decisions all happen in a line of the same way.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else I could help clarify?
I'm gonna roll a sense motive because I don't know. I, as the player, got that comment. I don't know if Eisen did, and I want to
Sure.
just roll to see if Eisen understands that.
She's totally
She's a
said that and
doppelganger, kill
sipped
her.
tea.
Yeah.
Right,
You
no.
wanna set your own DC?
I feel like it's just like a 10. Like I
Okay.
feel like that was pretty directed.
Yeah, go for it.
Wait, do I gotta say that?
No, he's just trying. Like, were you deceiving or anything? Because I also agree with him when he said it was a pointed conversation. He just wants to know if Eisen's hard head gets
Oh,
it.
okay, sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah, he got it.
Yeah. 16
Made it through.
on the 10 DC. So yeah,
Oh, you gained the
Eisen
rock.
gets it.
Hmm.
What was that character?
I-
Sounded really far away. Sorry.
Oh, I thought he was yaying the rock pun.
I mean, that's pretty good
Yep.
too.
No, it's not.
You just gotta roll with it sometimes.
I will
But
kill
do
you.
do you smell what's in the kitchen?
Yeah. But I am cooking.
What's in the kitchen?
Yeah.
Well, you're at a bar, and he has rock candy. All right.
Yeah. At that, I think he actually does take a piece of rock candy out from I imagine it's like a decorative arrangement of rock candy on a skewer, and he just takes one of the skewers and bites it, and just says, "I'm going to do whatever I need to make sure you all are safe. That is my job." Right
And
now.
it is mine as well.
Then I guess we're on the same page.
I certainly hope that we continue to be.
At
Like
this
I said-
point, a group text comes by. How do you guys feel about fake IDs?
And at that, Eisen will look up and say, "Ha!" His brow will have furrowed and then suddenly unfurrow as he quirks an eyebrow at fake IDs.
Tetsu probably texts a picture of an old fake ID.
Look,
All right, so that's one.
I look at my phone and turn it back upside down. Look, Eisen, you come to me talking about group cohesion and concern. I would come to you about the same thing for different reasons. I think we all have things to work on, but I don't understand what exactly you're asking of me.
I guess all I'm asking is we don't run at the same speed you do, and in a situation like this where we have very few solutions, I don't know what else we can give you that you can't give us, if that makes sense. In terms of getting on Castrovel, I don't have anything to offer besides my actual being able to punch people. Tetsu has his connections that he's desperately trying to help, and I understand why.
Sure. All I asked of that situation is not yet. Because we still have another option. And I think that's very valid considering the balking of a few, me and Dr. Len, to be perfectly honest. The thing is despite the fact that we're Starfinders, we have aspirations and goals of ourselves, and I can't sacrifice everything I have worked my whole entire life for an option of getting on Castrovel for a mission of the Starfinder Society at this point in my life. I have a lot riding on my shoulders. A lot more than I think anybody realizes.
Certainly more than has been understood, at the very least.
It's like this may seem dramatic, but I'm trying to make a point. If the goal was to get on Castrovel, and the only way to do it was to kill Tetsu, would you do that?
He pauses, uncomfortably long.
Do you understand?
No.
You don't have. Okay. That is what you're asking of me. In a different light. And all I ask is for that to be respected. And I still have only asked to delay. And I'm not going to say yes necessarily at the end either. All I was bringing up at every argument was that we're not ready to make the decision, which I think is valid. And asking for a vote when it's not yet time to make a final decision. It's like, okay, let's vote on if we kill Tetsu or not. There are some things that aren't to vote, and I didn't think that that was fair.
If I'm honest with you, and I want to be completely honest with you, if it was a direct order from my superiors to kill Tetsu and there was an obvious reason to do it, I would do it. I understand that that is not the scenario we are in right now.
And I understand that response.
Why are you so eager to say that you're willing to kill me?
If I was given $5 and a meatball sub, I would shoot Tetsu in the head. Yes.
Most of this I love the fact that most of this conversation has been about what Tetsu would do, wouldn't do, or dying.
Look, that's
Tetsu ain't even here, bitches.
no.
This was a random example.
Yes.
Yeah.
Purely picked up.
Completely random example.
Completely
Yeah.
random.
Don't know where it came from.
So far out there.
Not subliminal messaging at all, Eisen, if you would like to kill Tetsu.
Yeah. No.
Enact reversal
Like
protocol.
hypothetically,
Does it
if
work?
like somebody
Roll a will
suggested
save.
it,
Yeah.
If I were like to,
understand.
buy you a drink right now, would you kill Tetsu?
What if a lot of money was on the line?
What kind of drink?
Oh, no, I'm kidding.
And anyway, getting back on
I
topic.
don't think you're kidding enough.
Back on topic.
If you really can't, I have my own reasons why it would be difficult to go to the Black Butterfly, but I don't think that also pinning your hopes on a magical door, magically making it work, that also doesn't seem like it's that wise of a decision.
No, I'm not putting false hopes anywhere. All I know is this is one piece of the puzzle, and there's no reason to not pursue it. If there is some reason, but I think that we all agreed to pursue it, so why not pursue it before having this difficult decision? Why put it to a vote right now? Does that make sense? Do you understand?
I do. I also understand that the situation at Castrovel is going to get worse, much worse, before it gets better.
I understand that as well.
And
And
so
that is not on your mission, though.
It is on our timetable, because depending on what conversations we can have now might affect what happens later. That's why I'm willing to let Tetsu at least have the conversation, because it's going to get actively worse.
I'm pretty sure he's well on his way to having those conversations.
Mm-hmm. And
But all I'm saying is I don't think I asked for anything unfair, and I felt unfairly accused. That's why it got heated. But I don't think anything else really is problematic amongst the group otherwise, aside from what you brought up, which I appreciate, which is my on-the-feet decision-making, which I apologize for. It's just how I process.
and that's fine, but you also can't get upset at us when we necessarily, freak out or disagree. But
No,
that's
if
neither
that was
here
a
nor there.
conversation, we'd be having a different conversation.
Yes.
All right, well,
I'm glad it seems like you've calmed down a little bit, which is good. I'm glad that things have seemed to boil over. Bad term of words.
Dude.
Could you just like calm down?
Dig
Yeah.
a hole. Dig a hole.
Yes.
Just keep going, Eisen. Just keep
Dig,
digging.
dig,
Guys,
hole.
he just takes a bite of candy and like says, "Good, I'm done." Do you need anything? Can I help with anything?
No,
I'm literally sitting around the ship or the hotel being useless. I literally have nothing to do except stew.
You want to be Dr. Len's test subject?
Deeply no, but I probably should anyway. For something.
She kind of chuckles, like she was joking, regardless of that. I'll let you know if I think of anything. I have a little bit more shopping to do.
Fine. I'm gonna go make sure my swords are sharp for if we have to fight those stupid robots or whatever we're gonna have to fight to get through that door.
Yes, that was an interesting one. All right, I'll sharpen my mind. Okay. She gets up and goes.
Well, he'll leave like the thermos of tea that I imagine like they've like drank a little bit of and be like, "Here, I made this. It's way too much for me. You can take the rest."
She like looks at it for a second, like there's that like split second, then like takes it, nods her head, and goes.
Part ways.
They roll me a fortitude save.
I didn't say I was drinking it.
we both been drinking it. There's no need. Eisen didn't ask.
That's what you think. I've been
Oh,
doing that.
do I need to roll a fortitude save? Did she do something with her forearm switch? The like, you put poison in my drink, I put poison in yours.
Yes, the beautiful Princess Bride moment.
Exactly.
All right. Last thing I want to hit on super quick. Tetsu,
No.
you have a number. Do you contact them or you just hold it?
No, I had, because it doesn't sound like we're leaving. So I know if I do the thing, kind of stuck. But I do get Arvin to, unless there's a reason not to that Arvin says, to wipe my Starfinder setup.
You get locked out of the room at night, the hotel room.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't mess up that stuff, like
Ding.
Tetsu doesn't see a need to be signed up for the Starfinders when he doesn't know how quick he'll need to just kind of jump into whatever's.
Gotcha. He tells you the only thing it would affect is the Starfinders do have pool, like on Pact World planets. Like if you went somewhere and there was a car accident and you showed your Starfinder, like legit a neutral car accident, and you showed your Starfinder badge, like people would listen to you. Or like little things like that.
Doesn't care.
Like you're gonna lose small things like that, basically.
Yeah, and then he just wipes it. He doesn't really care about that.
Okay,
He's still in his heart a Starfinder, okay, Waffles?
for sure. He'll wipe it for you, I imagine. For lack of time, I'll speed through it a little. I imagine it's like at least a semi tough conversation of like, do I want to wipe this? Do I not? So he leaves you with the badge to like be able to show.
Yeah.
You're not in the system as a Starfinder, but you have it. You have a badge. Basically, you're not a cop, but you got a badge.
Yeah. I didn't think I was giving that up.
Okay. Well, there you go.
I was like, just wipe me from the computer, man. I'm keeping the
He
badge.
just holds out
Yeah,
his hand, and you're like, you just start handing.
I
him
shake
random
it.
stuff.
he basically gives you the dad talk of like, you don't have that from me. Like you found that on your own. Like you're not affiliated with us. That badge, that backpack.
Did you have the
Not from us.
Did you have the 10-year conversation of like, do you know, does like your seniority date change in the union when you leave?
You
Yeah, his
can no
identity
longer
changes
retire. You can no longer retire with all your friends. I'm sorry.
by half a year.
I'll die. Anyway.
All right. Then with that, is everybody ready for the Myriad Challenge?
Let's do it.
Once
Think
I
so?
shop.
Yeah.
Yay, Castrovel!
Are there day trading stocks that we can,
Invest in.
Trey, invest
No.
in. Yeah, I'd like to increase my money.
Mm-mm. Nope, not
Can I have
going down that
another
route.
1,000 gold?
Can I like
Credits?
Nope.
can I like bet against the Lore Spire complex? Like I think the Starfinder stock is gonna go down.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a big
But
short.
that's
You
Probably.
all lose all your money.
We can
I
start a
don't know how.
Deadpool on Tetsu. That would work.
All right, I'm gonna pull you out of this map just so y'all kind of get a sense of it. Give you a little intro.
Are we level 5?
Hell no.
Come on,
Alright.
that was a
I
tough conversation.
You get pulled
Killed
in
the Santa Manta.
to this situation with Arvin. He kind of brings you in. He's like, all right, this is what the Starfinder arena usually is. As you can see, we have the seats, the upper level. He kind of points up to the glass. Inside,
Those-
you will face the 3 guards that he kind of like looks around for a second. I have lowered their capabilities, we'll say.
Lower the DC, if you will.
What's their CR?
Much higher than yours. As
Ah.
they are 3 and you are 5.
Why are
winks.
they wearing spandex and have American
Question
Gladiator?
is, why
on
are
them?
you not?
Why am I so attracted to them waffles?
Yeah. He like points out to him. They're very clearly androids, as y'all see. Or like less of androids even, and like robots, I should say.
Oh.
You look over them, and trying to find where I have them. I lost them.
Ah!
Okay, the first one on the left looks to be outfitted as what most of you would consider at first glance a soldier. They have a rifle, they have a couple of grenades on their belt, they have a sword and a sheath. That's it.
That's
The
cheap. You bring guns.
The first one on the front line on the right looks to have like this almost black line of energy around them, like just this very thin black outline around them, like an aura. And they have gauntlets on their fist.
Can I?
And then the one in the back has a like this headband around their head, and they have these like very bright blue eyes, like brighter than the others.
Magic.
And that's where we'll end the session.
I knew it. I knew it.
I had one question. Does the
You can
one
ask it next
the, I'll
No,
forget next time.
What's up?
The black outline one. Does that look like Tetsu's kind of vibe?
No.
And this
And
line
you'd
on
be
the
way
floor.
too powerful.
Is that a gap? Is it like the ground's not there?
Hell yeah.
Gap.
Yep.
It's
They-
the
it
gap.
look-
You found
it
the
looks like-
gap.
I found the
It looks
gap.
like it looks like a purposeful gap. It looks like they literally like cut and or didn't install like things, like you can tell like the metal plating of the floor, like you can tell like this arena was literally made like this purposely. There's 3 pillars, just to explain it for everyone, there's 3 pillars on each side of the arena. These 3 pillars can clearly be hidden behind, they're like full body pillar kind of things. There's get this ruler out real quick, about a 20-foot gap in the middle, attached with a chain in the middle. The chain looks like it can be easily broken.
Is
And
is
go
the
ahead.
chain connected like at floor level or up above at the top of the 2 towers, like the 2 columns?
floor level.
Got it.
And then there are, looks to be very thin, like probably slightly hard to walk bridges on the left and right of the gap.
Ledges like at the edges.
Yeah,
Ledges at the
ledges
edges.
basically.
Ledges at the edges.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean like that's all well
yeah.
and good, but I solved Starfinder. Like I won Starfinder.
Did you?
Yeah, I found the
All right,
gap.
can we start campaign 3?
You find the gap?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I mean, everybody found the gap, but what happened?
It looks like they cut a
Right
hole.
there.
They cut a hole. They cut a hole in the timeline.
Yeah.
Hashtag gap.
I mean,
Are you
the
not
funny
paying
part is that's
attention?
not entirely wrong.
Well, we don't know.
That's true.
All right.
All right. That's it. We'll start next session with initiative and you guys fighting these 3 robotic people that have been programmed to kill you.